What's going on YouTube? This is yours truly, Dre the Plug, coming at you live with some more technical heat. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button below. Make sure y'all hit that bell button below so y'all can stay notified every single time I drop new technical heat. But let's get back into these interviews. Roll the clip.
Hi everyone, my name is Luke Villerman. I graduated in mechanical engineering from Louisiana Tech University back in 2017 and have been working at ExxonMobil ever since. I work in the supply chain function of our fuels business, and I sit on our trade floor here in Houston, Texas. I also have a passion for investing in the stock market and recently wrote a book on investing for teenagers.
Okay, Luke, so why did you decide to choose mechanical engineering?
I chose mechanical engineering because I knew I wanted to use problem-solving mindset, but I didn't really know when I graduated high school exactly which discipline or field I saw myself in. So I couldn't picture career-wise exactly where I wanted to be, and frankly, I still can't picture exactly how I want to end up. And at the time, mechanical engineering seemed like the most broad to me in terms of opportunities down the road, and it turned out to be that way. I think it still holds relatively true. So went with mechanical engineering and learned a lot of different aspects of engineering problem-solving mindset, and now apply that to my day-to-day job. Even though I'm not doing anything technical anymore, I do use that problem-solving mindset and constant optimization and economics. Engineering economics is a big class for most engineers. Still use that on a daily basis.
All right, Luke, so from your perspective, what do you feel is the biggest benefit when it comes down to being a mechanical engineer and then transition into your new role that's not even engineering?
To me, the biggest benefit of mechanical engineering is, again, just how broad it is. There are a lot of different paths that you can take, whether or not you want to go into industry and get technical, or you want to go into academia, further education, or if you want to do a more commercial route, because again, the problem-solving mindset that you get from an engineering degree is applicable in many different fields, is my point. And so the doors are wide open mechanical engineering, and I did that in, I guess I kind of can showcase that from my experience in different internships that I had. So I worked with GE Oil and Gas one year. I did an REU, or research experience, for undergraduates at the University of Pennsylvania, where I was doing very detailed research on atomic force microscopy. And then I pivoted in my junior year, summer of my junior year, I did an internship with GE Healthcare, so more the biomedical side of things. So just goes to show that you can go down many different paths with a degree in mechanical engineering. Yeah, so I had a bit of a transition after graduating college from being, in the books and very technical coursework for 4 years to then starting in a more commercial role at ExxonMobil. So I was doing a sales analyst position for our retail fuels business, doing a lot of data analytics and opportunity pipeline tracking, and even getting into customer relationship management. So a bit of a pivot that I had to develop new skills that I didn't really have exposure to while going through such a technical field in college. But I still think that like presentation skills, problem solving, all ended up helping me at the end of the day transition to that more commercial role. And now I sit on the trade floor with ExxonMobil and do scheduling for our different ships and barges going in and out of our New England terminals. So make sure that your gas stations always have gas and diesel, and you can drive your car around. So that's where I am now.
All right, Luke. So what drew you into, wanting to create your own book? I had came across his book while I was just chilling on Facebook, and I was like, oh, check that out. One of my friends actually wrote a whole book, and he was promoting it. I was like, let me just, copy it, read the whole thing, and don't even tell him about it, and just call him up or just hit him up and just give him some feedback. So that's basically what happened, and now we are here today about to discuss why did you end up creating this book?
Yeah, I guess going back to peak lockdown period, 2020, just found myself trapped inside and didn't have too much to do, especially on the weekends. So I was getting a lot of questions from friends. I've always been interested in the stock market. People were hitting me up, asking me for advice on things. Definitely not a registered financial advisor, but it got me thinking. I was like, hey, I could maybe help some people out here. I've always wanted to write a book. I've got the free time now, so let me just take a stab at it. And turns out that Amazon makes it very easy to self-publish your own book. You don't need a publisher or anything like that. I hired a formatter, hired an editor, hired a graphic designer, and artist to do the cover for me, and took me about 6 months or so to write it, and then just uploaded it to Amazon and went from there. So hopefully I'm able to help some people, just trying to get people to invest early and as often as possible, because it's really amazing how big a difference your retirement account will be when you get older in life, if you start regularly adding to an investment account when you're young.
Okay, Luke, so what's your day by day when it comes down to being in supply chain at Exxon?
Well, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes when it comes to getting gas and diesel to your local gas station. So there's a few different ways that we can distribute product from refineries to what we call terminals, where trucks pick up and then deliver to a gas station. And that can be by pipeline, by marine transportation, or by rail, for example. And so me specifically, what I focused on right now in my current role is transportation by marine, so barges and ships. And my day-to-day is giving orders to those charters that own different barges and vessels, and telling them where to pick up gasoline and where to drop it off. And it gets a little bit more technical from there, because we have a lot of inspections along the way to ensure product quality. But that's it in a gist.
All right, Luke, you wrote a book for teenagers specifically, going into the basics, even the fundamentals of, getting into the stock market. And in this generation, it seems like everybody is either talking about stocks and stocks or trading and doing different things as we speak. So what made you, want to actually get in there, take advantage, and write a whole book about the whole stock process? And why should somebody buy your book versus other books that's already out there?
Well, first off, disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor, but what I did try to do in my book is boil down my experiences that I had. I started investing as a teenager, and just tried to make it relatable than some of the other content that's out there, because it can get pretty complicated pretty quickly in the stock market, and a lot of terminology, a lot of lingo. And at the end of the day, money is involved, right? So it's easy to get emotional when you're doing something that inherently has financial risk to it, because the stock market goes up and it goes down, and there is some risk that comes with investing in it. And so, that's what I tried to do in my book, was first showcase why investing when you're young, and even sacrificing making purchasing decisions when you're young to instead invest that money, can have such a profound impact on your future later in life. And then also to just take it step by step and walk through the process of how to open an account and how to place a buy order for a share of stock or an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund, or a mutual fund. I break down those terms into what I hope is an easy to understand definition in my book. So yeah, that was the point of it. I mean, at the end of the day, young people don't have like the credit or the capital to invest in other things like real estate. But the stock market, I mean, brokerages out there now, you can buy fractional shares. So you see Apple stock listed for $150 a share right now. Well, you can buy only $1 worth if you want with a certain broker. So it's very attainable, if you will. And so I try to break down these terms and then level the playing field so that everyone can get in the stock market, because I really feel like it's a way to build generational wealth.
All right, Luke, so we're not going to just jump into the whole entire book, but what's like your favorite chapter? Or like, can you even give us like some crucial advice for people that's out there that may want to jump into doing stock and they never did anything, and you just want to give some good advice before they even begin?
Yeah, I think I'd say that my favorite part of the book is, I think in chapter 1 or 2, where I mentioned the cheeseburger rule, which is something I conceived up while eating a cheeseburger. But essentially, the premise of it is that if you instead take the money that you would spend on something now, like buying a cheeseburger and fries and a shake, which usually costs like $20 from me, and instead invest in the stock market. Say you're age 18, you can invest in the stock market for 40 years before you retire. Then that cheeseburger that I'm eating today is really worth around $890. So that's if you look at the average annual return of the stock market for the past 40 years, then you apply that to your $20 cheeseburger. So it's a give and take, and it shows if you give up something now, then you can reap those rewards at a much larger magnitude later on in life. And of course, everyone has to eat, so it comes with balance. But if you think about that, it puts it into perspective. And I make decisions differently. I still eat out, I still travel, but maybe don't spend as much money as I could be right now. If I had to boil it down to, that's my top tip, it would be to start investing, open an account, and take a Saturday afternoon and just buckle up and do it. Because every day, week, month that you waste, that's time that your money could be compounding. So investing as early as possible is definitely going to pay off for you later down the road. And secondly, I'd say choose the right account to invest in. And in my book, I go through the retirement account that I use that is tax incentivized, so that the money that grows in that account won't be taxed when I take it out at retirement. And it may not sound like a big deal now, but ends up being, if you max out your Roth IRA account, is the name of the account, if you max it out every year, we're talking millions of dollars in tax savings by the time that you retire, if you start at age 18. So definitely want to make sure that you open the right account type and start as soon as possible. Those are my top 2 tips.
All right, Luke, so what's your contact information for those people out there that, may possibly want to create their own book? They could probably get some tips from you. What's the best contact info you have?
Sure. You can email me at investnow.playlater@gmail.com.
And that concludes this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really do help my channel when it comes down to the YouTube algorithm. If you guys have any questions regarding anything, just hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on the gram at DreThePlug123. And then also go check out my other YouTube channel. This is actually my second channel. My first one was called Andre ClassicCuts. I basically go in and give tutorials about all types of different haircuts. I actually show people how to do different type of things with the clippers that has never been done, and I pretty much go into detail as to why certain things happen. So definitely go check out that channel. Besides that, be on the lookout for my next content that's dropping. Be on the lookout for it because it's coming real soon. And I'm out.